Homework mastery. Do you struggle to complete your homework for school? Or maybe you forget to write it down or even turn it in? Homework can really be the difference between passing, failing, or acing a class. Many teachers and professors even give credit for homework. So don't lose these easy points for not doing something that gives you practice and improves your test scores. Make homework work for you. Common reasons you might not do your homework include: you don't write it down in the first place. You never knew there was homework because you either fell asleep, daydreamed, or were absent. If you struggle being absent, check out this video. You don't have your class notes, so you can't complete it. You can't find where you wrote it down. You don't have any classmates' contact information for help. You're too tired to do it. You don't think you have enough time. You don't understand the homework. You'd rather do other things. You find it boring. You do it, but forget to turn it in or lose it. You don't have a quiet place. You don't think homework is needed to pass a class. If you agree with any of these, then this video is for you. Mindset. First, your mindset about homework has to change so you feel more interested in doing it. Homework makes you smarter. Start seeing homework as lifting weights. Each homework problem is like a bicep curl repetition for your mind. As you practice, you get faster at solving problems, and you strengthen your ability to learn, retain, and recall information from memory. Your brain literally changes. These are two real neurons, or brain cells, under a microscope that are connecting and becoming stronger. This is literally how learning happens. Every time you learn, but most importantly, practice, these connections become stronger so you can remember information for a longer time and recall things automatically with less effort each time. Intelligence literally comes from practice. The difference between an A, B, C, D, or F student is the amount of practice. And there is no limit to how smart you can become, no matter where you start. Homework increases your mental stamina and discipline. Students who do homework frequently can manage the challenging requirements of university work or advanced classes. Fall in love with the effort process. Most people dread anything that requires effort, even though it's good for us. We don't like eating our veggies, working out, studying, or doing homework. The trick to doing it consistently is to attach pleasure to the effort process, even though it's difficult and can be uncomfortable. Every time you feel discomfort, make a mistake, get tired, or get stuck on a problem, remind yourself, this is tough. That means I'm learning and my brain is getting stronger. Lean into this discomfort and praise yourself for pushing through. When you mentally reward yourself, you release dopamine, a brain chemical that feels good, extends your willpower and stamina, enhances learning, and even creates an addiction to doing tough things. Imagine if you became addicted to those tough things you don't want to do, but know you should do. You'd be a millionaire, a genius, more fit, healthier, and happier. So don't see homework as busy work or a waste of time. See it as genius training. At school, you can't expect to do your homework well if you didn't do the following well at school. Pay attention by avoiding distractions, like putting your phone on silent and away, and sitting up in the front, away from chatty friends. Watch this video for more on paying attention. Also, every time you're distracted or lose focus, bring your attention back to the presenter or the PowerPoint without criticizing yourself about it. But instead, praise yourself because each time you regain focus, you strengthen your concentration power and attention span. Take good notes that you can study from and will help you do your homework, since homework is practice of what we learned in class. Here's a good video on note-taking. Copy any problem-solving steps, main ideas, and vocabulary words, since these are what homework usually targets. Get all handouts and homework documents. You can't do homework if you don't have the homework problem sheet. Ask questions and participate in the discussion. Lastly, write your homework down somewhere consistently, like your planner or a homework sheet you place in a binder, or your phone's calendar or note section if allowed. If you write it in different places, like on a Post-it, or on an unrelated worksheet, or on a random notebook page, you'll forget, and trying to find it later is just stressful and makes you not want to do it. So pick a place where you won't forget or lose it, and don't change it. Make a phone reminder to help. I highly recommend you go to tutoring, office hours, or study hall to start your homework. Tackle the hard parts and so you can ask questions on the parts you're stuck on. That makes your homework easier to do at home because you get the tough questions out of the way with help. Now it's time to start your homework. Find a quiet place with no distractions, like the library, a coffee shop, a quiet diner, office, or in your bedroom. Tell your family members or roommate that during certain hours, you'd appreciate if they could wear headphones or keep the noise down so you can focus. Put on some study music or study sounds and get all the things you'll need so you don't get up, like water, snacks, pens, highlighters, and books. Now turn off your worst distraction, your phone, and put it in another room. Homework, then play. If you feel you have no time for homework, that's because you make no time for it. You do everything else first, and then you realize it's bedtime and you're tired. When you play video games, talk on the phone, scroll through social media, or attend to other tasks, you feel guilty, stressed, and even frustrated that you're falling further behind and aren't getting your homework done. Your grades suffer, and the more you want to procrastinate to make that stress go away. But flip it around. Get your homework done first. Getting your homework done first is more pleasurable because you feel accomplished as you move towards your goals. It allows for guilt-free playtime later, boosts your self-esteem, self-discipline, and of course, your grades. Create a hyper plan so that you make the most of your time, overcome procrastination, and generate motivation. Success coach Brian Tracy says, every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. Most people don't start their homework because it seems overwhelming. But if you take just 2 to 5 minutes to create a plan, the motivation will kick in right away. This is because action creates motivation. So don't ever wait to be motivated. Sometimes you'll be lucky and get it, but most times it never shows up. When you start a task, even if it's for 2 minutes, it seems doable than me telling you to do your homework in 2 hours. Getting anything started is always the hardest part, and this easy action that requires little time helps you do that. Once you start and get a clear picture of the work ahead and set small achievable goals, you generate excitement because everything will seem easier to do. On a whiteboard, sheet of paper, or Word document, create a list of all your assignments. Number them in order of priority by difficulty, urgency, current class grade, and value first. So if math is your hardest subject, you're not doing well in it, and need to bring your grade up, the work is also due tomorrow, and the assignment is worth a lot of points, you'll be doing this one first. Add an estimated time of completion, a checkbox, and any notes that can help you do it well and faster. And have fun breaks every 30 to 45 minutes where you aren't thinking about schoolwork. Here's an example of what this looks like. Math. Read textbook pages 23 to 42 and answer questions 1 through 21 due tomorrow, 90 minutes. Use today's lecture notes and 3 sample problems professor did. Call Karina to help me with missing notes for problem number 3. Find videos explaining what integrals are. Do problems 1 through 6, then take a break. 7 through 12, then break, then 13 to 21, then break. Notice how you can further break down each assignment into smaller steps? Do this to create even smaller goals that are easier to achieve. Remember that the goal of hyperplanning is to break your homework plan down to the point that the anxiety goes away and you actually get excited. The more micro goals you have, the more doable and easier it becomes. Make sure to set your timer or use your watch. I recommend a timer that's not your phone because it'll distract you. You can get a stopwatch at your local dollar store. Use this for your work sessions and breaks. Begin. After you hyperplan, you'll feel like the plan is doable. The 2 to 5 minutes will save you minutes to hours literally. If you plan even longer, it only helps you gain momentum. Begin studying with the goal of doing great work, but also trying to beat your time. This makes the process fun. Reflect. After each task and break, reflect on how you did. Did you go over time? Beat your time? And why? What strategies helped you the most? What areas do you get stuck on? The more you reflect, the more you can improve for the next time. If you skip this step, you'll never grow in your homework completion speed and effectiveness. If you get stuck, turn your questions into how can I or what questions. How can I solve for X in these types of problems? What is a better analogy for torque? How can I explain this concept more easily? Then follow this order. First, refer to the textbook or notes to see if it helps. Find a good YouTube channel that explains these concepts easily using whiteboards, animations, or other methods that fit your learning style. Or Google the concept or your problem. Sign up for a homework help hotline. Ask your friends. Join a study group. Go to tutoring, study hall, or ask your professor. If none of these are available, just do your best. But make sure you bring these questions to your next class. After your homework is done. After you finish it, place it in a binder or folder so it doesn't fall out. Maybe you have a folder just for homework. Organize your folder periodically so you know where to find stuff. The last thing you want is to have done it, but you don't turn it in because you can't find it in time. Then place it in your bag and place it where you won't forget it. My favorite trick is to place my backpack by the door so I can't miss it on my way out. I think that covers it all. So what are your favorite homework completion tips? Drop a comment below and like, subscribe, and share if you found it helpful.